Hello, and welcome to the In My 20s and Tired podcast. Podcast? Podcast. I'm not sure. I can pronounce it many different ways, and I probably will throughout my entire podcast. Anyway, this podcast is basically about struggles that people in their 20s go through. So, I'd say it's pretty relevant to most millennials. Yeah. So, to get to know me a little bit, to kind of explain what kind of perspective I will be talking from. If you're not watching this on YouTube, the video you can't see, but I am a white woman. I am from the Netherlands. I'm 26 years old and I am currently in school to become a teacher. So that is gonna be the perspective that I'll be covering all these topics from. So, yeah, I really enjoy just talking, not gonna lie. I enjoyed talking. So, this episode, I'm gonna be talking about having tattoos and piercings and colored hair as a teacher, and whether having tattoos, can affect your job prospects. But first, I wanna kind of spend the first portion of every episode talking about something current that is, I think, relevant to millennials, some things that are going on, and I tried looking up anything else but this. But literally, all the news sites that I looked at are basically only covering this or other bad news topics. So I might as well talk about coronavirus. I don't want to spend too long on this because the internet is covered in or filled with people talking about coronavirus. And I mean, people have good reason to. It is worldwide, I think. And if it's not, it is in all the first world countries. And white people are being affected by it, which is why people are so scared because it has come really close. Instead of it being away in China or Africa or wherever it can't reach, you know, the white people, the first world countries. I'm not really sure how to kind of formulate this. Also, I have already recorded this podcast episode, but I was using the wrong microphone. So the audio was really, really bad and I couldn't use it at all. So I am recording it again. Oh, and let's see, what did I want to talk about? Right, the hysteria um, around the coronavirus. And I am personally a little bit in the middle of it. I'm not super terrified of it and kind of stocking my house full of dried goods and canned goods. But I'm also not on the other side of there's nothing going on. People are being super silly about being worried at all about this, uh, everything. So I'm kind of in the middle. I am lucky that I am personally not at risk for the virus. Or, I mean, I could have it. I could have the virus, but there's a very small chance of me actually dying from it, I think, or getting actually sick from it, I believe. But I am worried for those who have compromised immune systems. I mean, I get sick a lot whenever there's a flu or whatever going on. I usually get it and I'll be sick for a little bit and then I'll get over it. My immune system has always been really, really bad. It has gotten way better ever since I got vegan, but it's still not great. But I don't know. I'm not worried for myself, but the thing is, okay. So I like I said, I'm currently in school to become a teacher, and I do have a paid teacher job right now. I teach 4th grade 2 days in the week, and primary schools are not closed here in the Netherlands. So my college and all the other colleges here in the Netherlands, I believe all of them, have been cancelled. Classes have been cancelled. I don't know if you can hear my dog there. He likes to just walk around when I talk. But yeah, like I said, all the colleges, universities have not been closed. Sorry, they have been closed, but then the primary and the secondary schools are still open because first of all they say that children aren't like at risk of getting sick of it, from it, and dying from it. Children are not at risk, they say. And also, if they send all the kids home, their parents are gonna have to be home and they can't work. So it'll affect our economy if we close all the schools. So that means basically, and that is how a lot of teachers think about it, or think about it, is that we as teachers are basically, we have this term here in the Netherlands. It's kind of like cannon fuel. So we are being used, we are being put at risk for this virus just so that other people can keep working. And it doesn't mean, I mean, I don't think the kids that kids can't carry the virus and that they can't give it to other people. I mean, they go to school with so many other people and children. Someone is bound to have it, right? And then later that day, they'll go visit grandpa and grandma who are at risk of this virus. So I don't know what the Netherlands or what the government of the Netherlands is thinking. I don't know if things are going to change later this week. I am filming this on a Saturday, and I really hope this can go up on Sunday. So, because I think Sunday is a good podcasting episode launch upload day. So, yeah, that is the thing about the schools and coronavirus here in the Netherlands. What else did I want to talk about regarding this? I already talked about it, so I'm kind of trying to think, what did I talk about previous that I didn't just talk about regarding coronavirus? Oh yeah, this funny story of me doing grocery shopping yesterday with my boyfriend, because I do live on my own with my boyfriend. We both go to school to become teachers, and we are both teaching 4th grade right now, which is really funny. We were in Lidl, and there was this couple who had two large shopping, or well, just two shopping carts stocked full of rolls of toilet paper and frozen pizza, other frozen foods, pasta, dried goods, canned foods. They bought garbage bags, and they were putting all their groceries in the garbage bags to, instead of grocery bags. And it was really funny. One guy made a joke that they were instantly or throwing away their groceries right after they bought them. And it was kind of funny. I mean, everyone thought they were being silly. The only reason that I can think of that would justify that kind of grocery purchase, hysteria shopping, is if they were buying it for their entire family whose health may have been compromised or may be compromised. So that is the only reason that I can think of. Very small chance that that is actually true, but it could be. Yeah, it was funny. So I am trying to kind of make jokes about this because I know that it is a very serious situation and that many people are affected by this. I know that in the US, people have been, and I cannot pronounce this word, but quarantined. I don't know if everybody has to stay home or just people who are at risk, who have like a compromised immune system. Yeah. Here in the Netherlands, that's not the case. We are usually, we don't, Dutch people generally don't take these kinds of things very seriously. We tend to be really, I don't know the right word, but just very, yeah, not serious about these kinds of things. So it will be very interesting to see how it all plays out. I am very curious to see if schools actually will be open next week, primary schools, because I just honestly don't think it's responsible if the country is in this much of a crisis. I mean, the entire world that, gets talked about on the news is in crisis, then why do we have such, I don't know, I don't think the way the Dutch government is handling this right now is very responsible. I get that there are multiple responsibilities that they have, and the economy is one of them, but just, I don't know. I don't think it is being handled the right way. I don't know what would be the right way to handle this. So I'm glad that I don't work at the government. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is what I also want to talk about. Next week, I'm going to have to teach Monday through Friday. Usually, I just teach Wednesday and Thursday. But next week, I'm going to be teaching all week. So it's going to be fun. The children are riled up about the corona news and they are very uneasy about it. And rightfully so, I understand. PE is being cancelled. So I'm going to have to find something to do in that time to kind of get the kids moving, I guess, because that's still healthy. Okay. I think I'm done talking about coronavirus now. It is just, I know the news is very negative, but it's also very relevant. It is what's going on right now. And I just thought it'd be it'd be stupid not to talk about it because it is something that's going on right now. And it'll be fun if maybe you listen to this in the future or I listen to this in the future and I'd be like, "Oh, right, that was a thing." Or I'd be like, oh yeah, that was the start of something really bad that was gonna happen. We don't know. I don't know. My bangs are being really weird. Um, I don't know if I can fix that, but it looks so strange. Oh, yeah, I'm just making them worse. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna take a little break and then we're gonna talk about the main topic. Okay, so it's time to talk about the main topic. And I do have my notes down here, so if you're watching this on YouTube, I might look down a little bit. But I want to talk about having tattoos and piercings, visible tattoos and visible piercings, and crazy or interesting colored hair, having that as a teacher and it affecting job prospects. So, again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see that I don't have interesting colored hair right now. I'm just like dark blonde or light brunette. But until a few weeks ago, I had bright green colored hair, and right before that, I had kind of blue green, but mostly blue teal, I guess, teal colored hair. I actually have a video on me dyeing my hair, so I'll put that in the show notes because I think it's really interesting. I keep using the two wrong. Anyway, I have tattoos. I have one tattoo of a feather on my wrist, and I have a flower half sleeve with a butterfly on my left arm, upper arm, and shoulder. And like I said, I am teaching fourth grade. And I just wanted to talk about, yeah, about it affecting my job, if it does. And spoiler alert, it doesn't. But I think it's really interesting that there has been such a mindset shift mindset shift about people having tattoos, having visible tattoos, because I remember that people would always say to each other that you shouldn't get tattoos or visible tattoos because it might lower your chances of getting a job. And I am very lucky to be in a sector, I guess, a job branch that is desperate for, in my case, new teachers. I am a third year college student. I still have another year of college to go after this, but I'm already working, uh, paid. I have a paid job as a teacher. I don't get paid full teacher's salary since I just don't have the diploma yet, so that's totally normal. But yeah, I just had a little bit of a brain fart. Like I said, I already recorded this episode and I thought I said some really smart things. So now I'm gonna have to think of those same smart things again. Okay, so my first tattoo, let's just talk about that. I'll show you, and I'm trying to do it quietly so you don't hear it too much if you're just listening to the audio. But this is the tattoo that I have. I have kind of like a feather or a quill on my right wrist. I got this when I was 22. Yeah, I was 22, and I got it in May. And the summer before that, I actually told my parents during dinner that I was gonna get a tattoo. I wasn't sure when yet, but I did know that I wanted to get one so that they could kind of get used to the idea of me wanting to get one instead of saying it like a week before the appointment or saying it after I have already gotten the tattoo. Because I don't know, I feel like I'm pretty responsible. I'm a pretty responsible um, person. And I wanted to tell my parents beforehand. And I really thought my dad was gonna freak out, and that because I am a daddy's girl, I really am, and I am daddy's little girl. So I definitely thought that he would get so mad. And I thought my mom would be like, okay, if that is what you wanted to do. And it couldn't have been more different from what I expected. So my dad said that if it's really what I wanted, and if I thought well about, if I had thought it through, that I should do it. It's my body. He can't stop me. He'll support me. And my mom, she said it would be a mutilation of my body. I can't pronounce that. Oh, ooh. Mutilation of my body. Yeah, that's what she said. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the relationship that I have with my mom or lack of relationship that I have with her. But needless to say, me getting a tattoo sent the relationship downhill fast. I got this tattoo when I was abroad in England. I first went to London for a couple of days. I was all by myself. I had just finished my internship for my previous study, my journalism study, and I was so tired. I was exhausted. I almost had a burnout, so I really needed some time away. And I thought it would be the perfect time to finally get the tattoo that I've wanted for years. And I don't know, quill, journalism, I thought it was fitting. So I went first a couple of days to London and then to Brighton, and I visited one of the tattoo shops there. I asked the hostel manager which ones have a good reputation, and I visited. They offered vegan ink, so I was very happy about that. I made an appointment for the next day. I didn't know that I didn't really know if that would be possible, but it was. So I got the tattoo. And before I left, I told my dad that I was gonna get the tattoo there. And he was like, okay, cool, you should do it. It's gonna be a great experience to, get your first tattoo there. And he also said that I shouldn't tell my mom before I go. She actually dropped me off at the train station before I left. And I really wanted to tell her, but I thought if I tell her now, then I'm gonna have a fight with her and I'm gonna leave on my vacation while I'm fighting with my mom. And it just would spoil my vacation. So I didn't tell her. She was so mad. I'm not gonna go into the specifics, but basically, we didn't talk for about 3 weeks after I got back. Um, sorry, it's so silly to me. Um, I don't have children, but I know what I will and what I will not be doing to my children when I get them and when they grow up. But maybe it's really different when you actually get children. Different topic, totally different topic. Anyway, I still lived on my own when I got the tattoo. Then I started living on my own about a year after. And then about a half year later, I started my teacher study. Yeah, I almost said journalism, but I already had that degree. I started my teacher study and I started teaching in first grade. And the kids saw my tattoo on the first day and I don't know, they liked it. And they were telling stories or talking about family members of theirs that also have tattoos and that I don't know, kids don't think it's weird because they are growing up now with people around them that also have tattoos, that also have piercings, that maybe have crazy colored hair. I had one girl in my first grade who got to school with pink hair one day. So, yeah, it's just there are different times right now. Let's just say that. My third grade class also really liked my tattoos. They didn't see it or they didn't mention it until the last day. So I don't know if they never mentioned it or that they never saw it. I got my nose pierced. I have a nose piercing, it's just a little stud. But I got my nose pierced the summer before I interned at kindergarten. Kindergarten are 4, 5 years old, year olds, maybe some 6 year olds, but mostly 4 and 5. And I'd have children coming up to me and asking what that thing in my nose is. Um, it was funny. Children don't mind. It's the oh wow, can you hear that? That is in the entryway of our apartment complex. Okay, my camera is gonna shut off any moment now, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a break and wait until the banging stops. Ugh, I hate having loud, aggressive neighbors. Okay, and I am back. Let's see, where did I leave off? That's the right grammar. English is not my first language, y'all. I'm really doing my best. So, oh, right, with the kindergarten and a nose piercing. Yeah, I just had my feather tattoo. And let's see, this school year, but it was in 2019, is when I started my half sleeve. And I did the lines first, and my grade 6 students, yeah, they were such sweethearts. That was the best class ever. There's no easier class to teach than that one. But they really liked my tattoo or the start of my tattoo. I don't know, they never saw it completely finished, but they really liked it. They asked questions about it. They were interested in it. And yeah, they were always really respectful of it. And I currently teach grade 4, and they also really like it. It is now completely finished, my sleeve, or my half sleeve, I guess. And the children really like it. And I never heard anything from any coworkers if they mind it. if they care. I mean, I do wear a lot of sweaters, so maybe no one has seen it yet. I don't really, you know, is it a correct term or thing to say I don't walk for sale with it? I think that's just a Dutch saying that I just literally translated to English. So that might not make sense to you if you're not from the Netherlands. So I'm sorry. Anyway, what I wanted to say was, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about my colored hair now. I don't have colored hair right now. I'm just a dark blonde, light brunette, but I did have the green hair, and I was blonde before that. So I started teaching the grade 6 class that I just mentioned when I was blonde. And then one day I wasn't blonde anymore because I dyed it green, and I went to pick the kids up for from their PE class, and I walked into the gym, and they saw me and they yelled at me that they thought my hair was so cool. They didn't know that. No, I think I told them that I was gonna dye it teal. So I walked in that gym with teal hair, and the kids really, really loved it. They kept asking me why I had teal hair, and I just kept making jokes about it. I don't remember what I said, but the kids thought it was so funny. And I think it's really great that kids can have the example of someone being a little bit different than, I don't know, the other teachers, but just to have someone with an, let's say, alternative appearance teaching them and being an authority figure, that you don't have to be weird if you have visible tattoos, visible piercing, strangely colored hair. You know, that people are just people. And that is something that the cleaning lady at the school that I am currently teaching at was talking to me about, because she saw me when we met, of course, and she asked me what the kids thought of my hair, and I said that they think it's cool, and she said that she thinks it's really great that kids get to see, you know, different kinds of authority figures, that it doesn't matter really what you look like, and that, yeah, that the tattoos and the piercings, I mean, I say piercings as if I'm such a pierced person, but literally just have a stud in my nose, so that is basically all of my piercings. And colored hair, that it's all just cool. So my grade 6 has their morning break, and they play outside with grade 2 and grade 3. So was walking outside on the first day that I was teaching there, and all these second grade kids come up to me and they tell me that my hair is green. And I'd say, "You're right." And I thought it was really cool. And then when I got back, I think it was last week, after I dyed my hair back to a human color, they would come up to me again and ask me where my green hair went, because they loved my green hair, and they said that they liked this too, but they really, really liked that I had green hair. So I think that's so funny that kids really remember you. Kind of, I mean, kids, especially smaller kids, they really focus on the details and they have trouble seeing the whole picture. Whereas adults usually see the whole picture but have a little bit more trouble with the details, which is funny how that works. But yeah, the kids loved that I look different. And I think that I was the same way when I was a kid. I thought adults that were a little bit different were really cool, because adults, we can be boring. Don't you think? I think adults can be so boring. Yeah, I keep forgetting my points. Right. I also, right before I got my sleeve, because I was already interning at this grade 6 at this school, before I got my first appointment for my half sleeve. And I actually asked the person who was in charge of all the interns at the school if she would mind if I got a large tattoo on my arm. And she really didn't mind. She said, "You go for it. What are you gonna get?" She was just, interested in what I was gonna get, and she was really nice about it. And I haven't heard one single parent or teacher, like a coworker or any kid, talk negatively about my tattoos, my nose piercing, my teal and then green hair. Nobody cares. One of the she wasn't my coach, but she was the coworker of my coach for my previous internship, and she said that she really was grateful that I was able to teach the children, and I was placed there, I guess, because she likes teaching children, or she likes that the kids were having an authority figure. Again, I keep saying authority figure, that looks different. And I agree. So, oh right, I wanted to talk about this article that I found on Bustle. I'm just gonna have to arrange my laptop a little bit so so that I can actually read from it. And the I'll put the link to the article in the show notes or in the description or in the whatever. Um, does having a tattoo affect getting a job? And this article says that 38% of millennials between 18 and 29 years old have at least one tattoo. It also says, while your mom might worry that a tattoo could affect your employment prospects, the reality is that in most cases, it looks like having a tattoo won't affect your job opportunities at all. Huh. If only my mom would have read this article. She would still disagree. Whatever. So, yeah, what is interesting about this article? I saw something. But oh, right, that tattoos remain popular, more so for women than for men, because 23% of men said that they had at least one tattoo, while nearly 37% of women did. Secondly, and more importantly, the researchers discovered that having a tattoo doesn't appear to be linked in any way to employment discrimination or lower wages. And it doesn't matter whether one has a tattoo, number of tattoos, whether the tattoos are visible, and I thought this was a little bit strange, and whether they are offensive. I can't imagine having an offensive tattoo be visible when you're a teacher. So maybe it doesn't really matter. I mean, maybe it depends on the job that you have, but offensive tattoos doesn't really make sense to me. For that doesn't affect your job opportunities. But yeah, let's see. I'm just reading and trying not to breathe into the microphone too much. Oh, yeah, that there was a massive shift in how we think about tattoos. It was only 2006 that a study of human resources managers found that 80% of them felt negatively about tattoos visible on employees. So, if you graduated from college in the mid 2000s, your parents' worries about tattoos hurting your job prospects might have been justified. But this new study shows that tattoos have become far more acceptable in the workplace. This obviously depends on how you work and what you're meant to be doing, but overall, the study shows that Americans, so this article is geared towards Americans, have become very accepting of tattoos. They're probably not gonna stand in the way of you getting the job you love, so go and get that beautiful back piece and rock on. I want to get a back piece. I am afraid that that is gonna hurt so bad. I wouldn't want a tattoo on my back. I don't think I showed you my tattoo yet. So if you are uh, watching this, listening to this on YouTube, and you maybe clicked away the screen, go click on the screen and watch me show you my tattoo. So I have roses, 1, 2, 3 roses. Then I don't want to touch the microphone. Then I have a hydrangea here for my grandma. And then I have a cute little butterfly, and I have these cute little flowers throughout the roses, and it's really cute. It hurt like hell, especially these inner arm parts. Oh, it hurts so much, and the one on my shoulder and the back of my shoulder that hurts so much. Anyway, I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. I'm trying not to make this episode last too long because I have already talked about this for 45 minutes, recorded on the wrong microphone. I used the internal microphone on my laptop. Let's just say it happened for the first episode, so it's not going to happen again for the other ones. Now I know what to look for. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have anything to contribute to this episode, I would love to hear it in the comments of the YouTube video. You can also email me. Let's see if I remember my email. It's in my 20s, and then 20 is the number. So it's 20s and tired. Just that is all words. So I'll also put the email in the description of the video and in the show notes on, I don't know, on Anchor, on Spotify, iTunes, wherever this podcast is going to be available. Podcast. It's going to be a running thing, you guys. I'm going to not be able to say that correctly. So, yeah, that is everything that I want to talk about. If there are any topics that you would like to hear me talk about, I would love to hear them. You can email me. You can email them to me. You can leave them in the comments. What else do I want to say? I'm gonna try and do my best to upload a new episode every Sunday. Okay, so for my YouTube channel, I pre-film a lot, but I feel like if I want to talk about recent, relevant news topics at the start of every episode, it's gonna be hard to pre-film them because I can't pre-film them much more than like 2 days in advance. And I think that's already pushing it when it's really recent news like coronavirus. There could be something happening within the next 24 hours that I will not have talked about today. Oh well. Again, thank you so much for listening to the In My 20s and Tired podcast. And I really hope you tune in next time. Bye bye.